Peace and prosperity to all living beings within range of my divine voice. It is Apatai. We are here in nature again. We got the truck as our background light tonight, and we're gonna tap into this loving nature energy. I um I coincidentally had hey Suli, peace and prosperity to you, brother. Thank you so much for being here. I originally had a message that was about different stages of transformation in regards to some of the newer obstacles that most of us will face when we are in the midst of an upgrade, especially a major upgrade. And while that was happening, and I'm preparing for the show, I see this big, huge frog over on the concrete not too far away from me. And I almost didn't even think it was real because several people had walked past it and nobody else had noticed it. Desiree Monique, peace and prosperity to you. Thank you so much for coming in. Ellie, my beautiful moderator, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. And ironically enough, the frog let me pet it. And it was interesting because I always go at any insect, tree, any life form. I approach it with a certain level of respect and appreciation, and so I didn't want to just assume it was just going to let me pick it up, you know what I'm saying, or touch it. And I looked down, I reached down, I saw the frog, and I said, you mind if I pet your back? And he could blinked his eyes, and then let me pet his back. And it was real cool because I could tell that it wasn't threatened by me in any way, and I always appreciate that because hey Queen, peace and prosperity to you. Keith, I see you coming in. I'm sorry, I was just inviting y'all and I missed some of y'all coming in. Hey Miko, I was saying that tonight's message, initially I started to talk about, and I still am going to talk about the stages that we see when we're coming into the next level of manifesting, the things we see when we have reached that next upgrade level, right? Queen of Manifesting, thank you so much for sharing the live. You know we love you. Sassy, thank you so much for tapping the screen. I love you. I appreciate y'all. Everybody, thank you so much for getting your daily heart needs. The message was specifically going to be talking about how we don't always immediately recognize some of the obstacles that are put in front of us when it's time for an upgrade. We won't always immediately recognize it. We got to kind of feel for it and recognize, like, okay, this may seem difficult, but whatever we learned last time. Hey, Auntie, good to see you. I love you. Whatever we learned from the last upgrade or lesson, it's going to be available to us to help us with the next one. I love you, Auntie. Thank you so much for being here. But I kind of want to center it a little bit more on transformation because I literally about 4 minutes ago, that's what took me an extra couple more minutes, I literally just got to pet a frog. I love you too, Auntie. I love you so much. I literally just got to pet a frog. And I ain't seen a frog this big in I don't know how long. I'm talking about I don't know how long it's been since I'm talking about, like, everybody knows I got big hands. If it had let me pick it up, the frog would have easily been the size of the palm of my hand. It was a big, big frog. A big frog. And it was right in front of this doorway. And I went and I looked and I seen it. I said, look at you. I'm like, and I told it initially, I'm like, you need to go over this way so don't nobody step on you. And it listened to me and jumped over to the side. And when I came out, because I had went to the restroom to wash my hands, and when I came out, it was still over there on the side of the wall. And I looked down at it and I said, can I pet you? I looked down at the frog. I said, can I pet you? Is that okay? It blinked its eyes. And it let me pet it on its back. And it was comfortable and chill. Like, oh, look at this beautiful moth. Are you flying toward us? Check you out. Hey, beautiful. Y'all just coming to love on me today, and I love it. I appreciate y'all. Nature be talking to us, y'all. I love it. Did y'all catch that That big old moth that just flew toward us. I hope I switched the camera in time. But yeah, the frog let me pet him on his back. Hey, Cube Event, peace and prosperity to you. And so I had to take a second to go and research what the frog message could be in regards to like spirit animals and the way that information transfers. And it talks about transformation, which makes sense because when you think about the frog's journey, hey Jay, peace and prosperity to you, brother. When you think about the frog's journey, it goes from a tadpole into a frog. And the difference between a tadpole and a frog is huge, right? And it's not a lot of amphibians that have journeys that almost can be similar to human beings, minus it losing its tail. We go from essentially tadpoles in our transformation to become what we are as human beings, standing upright, But its main message for frogs, when you see a frog in that kind of proximity, or especially in a situation like mine, where it actually allowed me to pet the frog, it's a message usually going to be associated to transformation. They go through great transformation in life. And that still ties into the message I wanted to deliver, because we are going to start to see some of these, hey Susie, peace and prosperity to you. So good to see you. It's been a minute, Susie. We love you. Miko, thank you for tapping the screen. Keita, thank you for tapping the screen. Susie Q, so good to see you again. We are in the midst of transformations all around us, and a lot of our hard works are starting to pay off. But it's not going to be as simple as just immediately recognizing how much opportunity we've gained. We're going to have some type of obstacle in front of us. Purple Diamond, peace and prosperity to you. We're going to have some type of obstacle in front of us to give us recognition of how far our journey has come. That's just how it works. That's how God designs it. Because free will is going to put you in position to say, okay, did I really learn my lesson? Did I really gain the knowledge from last time? Have I really broken this cycle? Right? And you'll get that confirmation only through that struggle. And it might be a struggle where the old version of you couldn't handle it. The old version of you could not imagine going through this struggle and coming out 10 toes down and head to the sky. But the new you, the higher self version of you, it just sees it the same way it sees any other obstacle. Something to go through or jump over or run through. Something to benefit you. Something to learn from. But why do you recognize and don't acknowledge and move? Well, hey Adorme, peace and prosperity to you. A lot of us, just like I mentioned how the old version of you would see this new challenge and be concerned, worried, and in fear, a lot of us don't recognize that we're not the old version of us anymore. There's a lot of people who go through that. My friend Adorme was just talking about how the mind will get stuck in memories not too long ago. And it just so happened you asked that question, Susie Q, as she comes in. But we don't believe in coincidences. But Adorme, beautiful Taurus gang, was just talking about how our memories will get stuck in our brain, stuck in the front of our brain, right? But it's, let me say it this way: it's not a constant battle if you acknowledge that you're improving. Hey, Nurse Healer, peace and prosperity to you. It's not a constant battle if you acknowledge that you're improving. It's only a constant battle if you are downgrading yourself. If you are lowering yourself down. I know what you mean. But it's only a constant battle if you are downplaying yourself to say, well, I didn't learn enough from that. I didn't gain from this. Maybe I have to experience it again. Maybe I have to see it again. No, you don't. Everybody does, Susie Q. That's part of the reason why grounding is so important. I say this every episode. When we come outside and we get our feet barefoot on the ground, Peace and prosperity, nurse healer. When we come outside, we get our feet barefoot on the ground. We stand in nature and tap into this tree energy, to this nature energy, or whatever way you want to ground. What it does is it clears us of that negative pent-up energy. Because that negative pent-up energy will block you in your vision. It will keep you from paying attention to what you need to pay attention to, which is yourself. It'll keep you from being able to acknowledge yourself because you're so stuck in the negative energy from yesterday. It's hard to see tomorrow. It's hard to see now. We're so worried about what happened this weekend, what happened on Monday, because we're not cleansing our energy enough. And sometimes it takes more than others. I ground at the beach this week. I bet it was. Ooh, I'm almost jealous. I'm almost jealous, nurse healer. But it's hard for me to be jealous after I got to pet that frog today. That I gotta keep it real. I don't brag enough. But me getting to pet that frog right before I started my live was so awesome. It was so awesome. God's little reminders. But the transformation is not going to be just right in our face. We have to understand and believe in ourselves that it's happening. The same energy that we had to use to get to that step in the first place. Empress, peace and prosperity to you. I was just talking about you, Empress, about one of my favorite live hosts. Shout out to you, Empress. Thank you so much for coming in. Yeah, I got to pet a frog right before I started the live, nurse healer. A big old frog. Matter of fact, I don't even know if I should be bragging, but I want to go back over there and see if it's still there. I want to go back. I'm about to walk over there. I just want to see if it's still there. If it's still there, we're going to get it on camera. Because it, like, I've been in swamps. I've been all through nature. Hey, Motivation, good to see you. We love you, brother. I didn't expect you to be on this late because I saw you this morning. I saw you this morning with your healing hands on TikTok. I love you, brother. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. You could feel the healing energy all in your life, brother. I love you. It was beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to walk over here just to see if that frog is still here. It might not be. It might be. It's a full moon out almost. And I think sometimes the visual effect can magnify things. So let's see if it's still hanging out. No, it's definitely not in the spot it was in. Dang, that would have been so cool. But it was probably just for me to see and enjoy the message. I definitely don't see it no more. It was like, hey, Crystal Moon, peace and prosperity to you. It was literally right here. And so, like, when I first came up, y'all see the doorway, right? The frog was like right there, right in here. I asked it to move so it wouldn't be in the walkway. It walked over here. And then it let me pet it right here. But the message again in relationship to that is transformation. We have to understand that when God is allowing us to go up to the next level, when God is allowing us to receive the blessings we asked for and manifest it, that we're going to meet a challenge in that process that the old version of you couldn't handle. The version of you that wasn't manifesting goodness in your life. The version of you that was not dealing with your traumas in life. The version of you that didn't believe in yourself cannot handle that upgrade. But that higher version of yourself, that version of yourself that believes in yourself and allows you the grace and beauty of this growing experience that we call life. Thank you all so much for the gifts. I appreciate y'all. That version of you is meant to handle that pressure. It's meant to handle that obstacle. So to go back to your question, Susie Q, how do we recognize it? We have to continue to believe in ourselves, because there's that energy of believing in ourselves that will get us to that level in the first place. You're not going to get to that higher level if you don't believe in yourself. Thank you all so much for tapping the screen. I appreciate y'all so much. You're not even going to get to that higher level if you don't believe in yourself. The things we did to deal with our past, to deal with the traumas, to deal with the things, to merge the things that we may have initially considered flaws, but now we can recognize as beautiful. All of these tactics that we do to empower ourselves and draw ourselves closer to ourselves, closer to God, are going to be reminders for you when you reach that next level. Patah, brother. Patah. Or tie, either or, brother. I appreciate you asking. But it's going to be a reminder for you. So when you hit that obstacle, again, that the old version of you would have saw that obstacle and ran away. The old version of you would have saw that obstacle and be like, no, I can't do this. I can't handle it. That old version of you that we're talking about, Susie Q, it's going to initially see that and try to respond that way. That ego, that lower frequency, it's going to initially come out and say, you know what, I don't know if we can handle this. I don't know if we believe in ourselves enough to achieve this. It's okay, brother. I know it's a compliment coming from you, and I love you and I appreciate you. Hey, Cena, peace and prosperity to you. Good to see you, Cena. That's another beautiful live host. We love you, Cena. And it's not going to be directly obvious. It's not going to be obvious until you push through it. And then you'll have a second to look back and say, oh, I did that. You have a moment to look back and say, oh, I went through that like a boss. I stepped right through that fire unburned. It's that confidence that you have to hold on to. It's that self-belief that you have to hold on to no matter how far you elevate. You can't let go of that. And again, if you have moments where your mind is cloudy, if you have moments where you're a little bit unsure, hey, Monica, peace and prosperity to you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Cena, for the gifts. We love you, Cena. If you have those moments where you're a little unsure, it's a real simple thing to help yourself cleanse the body by just coming outside. Just coming outside, hugging a tree, putting your feet barefoot on the ground, grounding, allowing yourself to cleanse that negative energy. Peace and prosperity to you, Cena. Allowing yourself to cleanse that negative energy for a moment so you can have that mental clarity. So you can remind yourself of who you are. So you can re-tap into that self-love energy that got you to this point in the first place. That same energy that got you to this place in the first place is what's going to carry you through that next level. It's the same energy that when you face that obstacle that you initially thought you couldn't battle through, you come to a point, hey, Ro, good to see you, Ro. I loved your live earlier today, Ro. You come to that point and you recognize that you are fully equipped for this battle. Loyal, I love you. So good to see you, Loyal. Peace and prosperity to you. Thank you all so much for getting the live go. I really love and appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. And then that's when you get to sit back and, you know, they always say hindsight is always 20/20 vision. Hindsight is always 20/20 vision. That moment where you surpass your own goals, that moment you surpass what your imagination has set for you, but it's not what God has set for you, that's when you can say to yourself, okay, I'm on the next level. But you won't see that immediately when you walk to those steps that seem too high. You won't see that immediately when you're in a situation where you got to fly and you think you can only jump. You got to jump and fly. You got to put yourself out there. Hey, princess, we love you. Peace and prosperity to you. You got to have that belief in yourself. You are so welcome, bro. I appreciate you so much. You got to have that belief in yourself. No matter what you go through in life, you cannot let go of that. That is the energy that transformation is built on. That same frog, when it was a tadpole, it had to believe in itself that it one day will be a frog. That same moth that flew toward the screen a moment ago, when it was a larvae, when it was a caterpillar, it had to believe in itself that it could fly long before it ever could fly. It had to have that belief inside of itself, because otherwise it wouldn't have made it. Otherwise it wouldn't have made it. You're the same way. That's why they're coming out to remind us to talk about this transformation, because a lot of us are going through major transformations. A lot of us are. I'm fortunate enough, because I love y'all and I pay so much attention to y'all, I can point out some transformations to some of y'all and say, hey, I know you think you're not doing good, but check this out. This is where you was when I met you. Look at you now. I love doing that for y'all. Like my friend Keita had her first battle tonight. She's now got a 5x win streak. And there was a point in time, Mona Lisa, thank you for being here. We love you. There was a point in time where Keita didn't even want to be on live like that. Now she's just a smiling on the camera with her five win winning streak. She's not going to immediately recognize that transformation or how big of a jump that is until maybe she sees someone else who's shy about going on live. Maybe she sees someone else who's shy about advertising their books. And then she could look at them and say, you know what? I went through that struggle. I gained that ability. If I can do it, they can do it too. Then she get to help them along the same way she helped herself. And I can talk about all of us that way. I just use her as an example because she's here and she won 5 battles tonight. But all of us are fortunate enough to be loving and positive enough people to see those upgrades in each other. We can remind each other, but we still have to remember it for ourselves. We still have to love it for ourselves. We still have to believe in ourselves, even if you can't see it yet. Even if you can't see it yet, you have to believe it's there. One guaranteed way I can tell you that you are upgrading is if you are trying to love yourself, if you are trying to work through it and you're still here. Because every day we lose people. Every day the transformation journey ends for so many of us. But we're still here. That means we get to keep fighting. That means we've been given a divine right to keep fighting. The option to. And that means we deserve it too. We deserve the right to keep fighting. We deserve the right to upgrade. If we are going to love ourselves, if we are going to stand in gratitude for ourselves, we have to keep fighting. We have to keep believing in ourselves. Every breath we take, every second we get to be here. No exceptions. We got to be grateful. Got to be thankful. It doesn't matter if you can't see it now. Let some loved ones like myself be in your energy and help you see it. Keep your mind clear by cleansing your energy so that you can have a clear vision until you can recognize it. Surround yourself with love and positive energy so you can figure it out on the moments that's hard to figure it out. It's going to be worth it. I promise you. We're all doing way better than we think. Hey, Mama Bat, peace and prosperity to you. Princess, thank you so much for sharing the live. Loyal, thank you so much for the FYPs. Everyone, thank you so much for all your comments. I appreciate everyone for being here. I'm thankful, and I say this all the time. I was just saying this in my group a few moments ago about how rare and special it is for us to have these connections like what we have. It's rare and special, and I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful I get that opportunity because I get reminders too. Matter of fact, I gotta put my sense, because you know I gotta be transparent, right? Hey, Gwendolyn, peace and prosperity. I gotta be transparent. I gotta lead by example, right? Ellie was the one to tell me I was in C5. I didn't even know what she was talking about when she said it during the live. I didn't know. I had to do some research to even understand how important that was. Like C5, what are you talking about? But I have a loving, positive friend who works hard on herself. She helps other people. She's in that loving, positive, helpful energy just like I am. And so she got to be my reminder and say to me, hey, Patah, you're in C5 now. Do you know what that means? I'm like, no, what does it mean? She's like, this. And this. I'm like, word, I did not know that. And then I get to congratulate myself because all the hard work we put in since January is starting to pay off. And maybe I could, you laugh at Ellie. Maybe I couldn't see it immediately, but I'm thankful enough to have the love and awareness to surround myself with beautiful people who can see it in me and get to remind me when I forget, when I'm not paying attention. Susie Q, I'm not sure if you're still here. Maybe you'll hear this message on the replay on YouTube. Continue to surround yourself with people like us. Continue to love and lift yourself up so that God can use those loving people around you to remind you, and you can be a reminder to them as well. So nature can remind you because you're in peace and prosperity with yourself. The same way that frog, that moth, the fireflies remind us every day. And every moment we're thankful. Whether we can see it or not, we stay in that gratitude and we keep going. I'm keeping it a little short tonight because I started late. I still, like I said, got about 300 miles of driving left to go. Emma, I love you, Emma. I love you, Emma. I'm so sorry you coming in late. But it's all divine timing. I'm happy I got to see you and tell you I love you, how much I appreciate you, Emma. Peace and prosperity to you. But I am closing out. I got to close out tonight because, like I said, I got to pick up my daughter at 5 in the morning. I still got a bunch of miles to drive. So I got to go. I will, Cena. Don't you worry. Always and forever. Always and forever safe. Always and forever safe. And just like y'all reminded me out of love to stay safe, that's what our real kinship is for. To remind us, hey, we know you safe because you here, but keep being safe. Keep going. Keep being positive. And I love and I appreciate every moment, every kind gesture, every pat on the back. And I'm always grateful to give it right back to y'all. Always. I will see y'all tomorrow. I love you all. Peace and prosperity to everyone.